The air in Mozambique crackles with anticipation. A nation on the cusp of change holds its breath. At the heart of this anticipation stands Venancio Mondlane, a man who has become synonymous with the fight for a just and democratic Mozambique. His journey is one of courage, a testament to the power of one voice to challenge the status quo. Mondlane's story is not just his own. It reflects the aspirations of a nation yearning for change. Born and raised in the aftermath of Mozambique's long struggle for independence, Mondlane embodies the dreams of a generation that tasted freedom but found themselves yearning for more. He witnessed firsthand the inequalities and injustices that continued to plague his homeland. He saw the gap between the promises of liberation and the realities of everyday life for ordinary Mozambicans. It was this dissonance that ignited within him a fire, a burning desire to see his country live up to its full potential. Mondlane's early career gave little indication of his future path. He worked as a lawyer, a profession often associated with upholding the system. However, Mondlane was no ordinary lawyer. He used his legal expertise to defend the marginalized and the dispossessed. He took on cases that others shied away from, defending the rights of those who had no voice in the corridors of power. It was during this time that he witnessed the insidious nature of corruption, how it wormed its way into every facet of society, eroding the very fabric of the nation. His experiences fueled his growing disillusionment with the ruling Frelimo party, which had been in power for almost 5 decades. He saw how a party that had once been synonymous with liberation had become entrenched, more interested in self-preservation than in serving the people. It was this realization that propelled Mondlane onto a different stage, one where he would use his voice not to defend individuals, but to challenge a system. Venancio Mondlane's voice, once confined to courtrooms, soon began to resonate throughout Mozambique. He became a vocal critic of the Frelimo government, his words echoing the unspoken frustrations of millions. His critiques were sharp and direct, cutting through the carefully constructed facade of stability and progress. Corruption, he argued, had become endemic, seeping into every level of government and stifling the nation's potential. He spoke out against what he saw as the government's increasing authoritarianism, the silencing of dissent, and the erosion of civil liberties. The media, once a beacon of hope after independence, was now tightly controlled, its voice muted. Journalists who dared to criticize the government faced intimidation, arrest, and even violence. The space for free and open debate was shrinking, replaced by a climate of fear and self-censorship. Mondlane refused to be silenced. He understood that a nation without a free press was a nation without a voice. Mondlane reserved his harshest criticism for the issue of electoral transparency. Elections, he argued, should be a celebration of democracy, a chance for the people to make their voices heard. Instead, they had become tightly controlled exercises in maintaining power. Instances of voter intimidation, irregularities in voter registration, and the blatant manipulation of results were commonplace. Mondlane knew that without free and fair elections, the promise of democracy was nothing but a hollow slogan. His message resonated deeply with the people, particularly the youth, who had grown up with the internet and social media, exposed to different ideas and possibilities. They yearned for a Mozambique that lived up to its democratic ideals, a Mozambique where their voices could be heard and their votes counted. Mondlane, with his unwavering commitment to justice and his fearless criticism of the regime, became their champion, a symbol of their own aspirations for a better future. The groundswell of support for Venancio Mondlane was undeniable. His message, amplified by social media, transcended geographical boundaries and social divisions. In a nation where access to information had long been controlled, social media became a vital tool for mobilization and organization. Young people in particular found in Mondlane a leader who spoke their language, who understood their frustrations, and who offered a vision for a future where their voices mattered. Mondlane's popularity extended beyond the digital realm. His rallies drew massive crowds, filling stadiums and spilling out onto the streets. People from all walks of life, students, teachers, farmers, and fishermen came to hear him speak. They came because they shared his vision for a more just and equitable Mozambique, a Mozambique where opportunities were not determined by connections or political affiliation, but by merit and hard work. The ruling party, facing this unprecedented wave of discontent, reacted with predictable tactics. They attempted to discredit Mondlane, painting him as a puppet of foreign powers or a dangerous radical intent on sowing chaos. State-controlled media launched smear campaigns, spreading disinformation and propaganda. However, these attempts backfired, only serving to further solidify Mondlane's support among the people. The more the government tried to silence him, the louder his message seemed to become. The regime's attempts to silence Mondlane took a more sinister turn in the run-up to the 2024 presidential election. Despite widespread support, Mondlane was barred from participating in the election on spurious grounds. The Electoral Commission, widely seen as a puppet of the ruling party, disqualified him on technicalities, further eroding public trust in the electoral process. The message was clear. The regime would not tolerate any threat to its grip on power, even one delivered through the ballot box. The exclusion of Venancio Mondlane from the 2024 elections sent shockwaves throughout Mozambique and beyond. International observers condemned the move as a blatant attempt to stifle democracy. The people of Mozambique, however, refused to be silenced. In the face of intimidation and violence, they took to the streets, demanding free and fair elections. Mondlane, true to his principles, remained defiant. He refused to recognize the results of the election, calling it a sham and a betrayal of the Mozambican people. He continued to call for peaceful resistance, urging his supporters to remain committed to the principles of democracy and justice. His courage in the face of adversity, his unwavering belief in the power of the people, became a source of inspiration for many. Today, Venancio Mondlane remains a powerful symbol of hope for a better future for Mozambique. His journey, from lawyer to activist to leader of a nationwide movement, is a testament to the power of one voice to inspire change. He has shown that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, the pursuit of justice and democracy is a fight worth fighting. Mondlane's story is far from over. He continues to speak out against injustice, to challenge the status quo, and to inspire a new generation of Mozambicans to demand a better future for their country. His voice, once a lone cry in the wilderness, has become a chorus, a symphony of hope echoing throughout the nation. And as Mozambique stands at the crossroads, poised between the legacy of the past and the promise of a new dawn, one thing is certain: the spirit of Venancio Mondlane, the spirit of hope and resilience, will continue to guide the way.